Hello everyone, my name is Leericle, and in this video we're going to be talking about the story in Paper Mario: The Origami King. Now I do want to say one thing before the video starts. This video is going to have spoilers. You have been warned. I do have a playlist if you guys want to check it out beforehand. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I love the story in Paper Mario. This is by far one of the best games I have ever played, one of the best RPGs I've ever played. And it's probably one of my favorites of all time. One of my top favorites of all time. But there is some things that kind of concern me where they could have made some improvements, and there's some parts in the story where it didn't make sense, and that's what I'm going to explain in this video. Now, the parts that did not make sense was the ending and the beginning. So in the ending, Olivia made the wish, everything happened, and then Princess Peach came back to life. My first reaction when I saved Princess Peach was I didn't care. Honestly, I didn't care that Princess Peach came back. And I'll tell you why. In the beginning, our first impressions of Princess Peach was in origami form. That's it. We didn't get to build any type of connection. We didn't get to build any type of relationship, any reason to save Princess Peach. Like, let's imagine this. I'm a person who never played a Mario game before, and I just bought this game. All we get is the origami form. We don't get to build any type of connection with the character, any type of introduction to the character, the relationship that they have together. You know, we don't get none of that here. I mean, yeah, we get the letter, but the letter was so generic. It was just basic handwriting, like a generic invitation letter. Give more emotion and more personality into that letter, at least. Here's an example. In Paper Mario, in the original Paper Mario for 64, they built that little section in the beginning, got to build relationship with that character. She had so much personality. She had so much emotion. We got to build a little connection with that character. Even if it's just that little bit of interaction with that character made me want to go save Princess Peach. But in Origami King, we don't see that here. And that's why I wasn't, when I say Princess Peach in the end, I didn't even care because I didn't build anything. I didn't build no relationship. I didn't build any type of connection with that character. I didn't care about Princess Peach. So that's the problem with the beginning. They should have made something to made me care to save Princess Peach. Now the other part with the ending. So let's look at this section right here with the Origami Craftsman. He says, "And Olivia, so good to see you making use of that giant hammer technique I folded into your design. Did King Oli fold Olivia? Or did the Origami Craftsman fold Olivia? It doesn't make sense. From my opinion, I think I understand what they were trying to say here. Maybe it could have been a technique when Olivia went to go to the Shroom House and meet the Origami Craftsman for the first time, that he showed her that technique. But I think they chose the wrong wording here. They should have said, and Olivia, so good to see you making use of that giant hammer technique that I taught you." That's all he needs to say. So good to see you using that giant hammer technique that I taught you. That's it. They could have fixed that problem right there and get rid of that confusion. This part doesn't make sense. Maybe they can change it. It just doesn't make sense to me because it seems like the Origami Craftsman is the one who folded Olivia. That doesn't make sense. Let's look at another part here. When he says, "This will be my last fold of life." Why? Why is that gonna be his last fold of life, dude? He's gonna let Olivia die like that? It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like, it has no emotion. Like, the Origami Craftsman has no emotion. He has no emotion over his creation, the pureness of his creation. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, he's deliberately letting his creation die. Okay, this part is a little bit kind of silly, a little bit. The reason why King Oli was turned evil in the first place is because he has little scribbles on him. I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, it's a little dramatic. I would have thought of something more serious, but because my reaction was the same as Olivia's reaction. That's why you're doing this? What? Because you have scribbles on you, dude? Are you kidding me, dude? And he didn't even get the chance to read what those scribbles even said. Come on, man. He could have checked it before all this happened. It doesn't make sense, man. I mean, in my opinion, they could have thought of something a little bit more serious, but yeah, it's passable. It's just a kid's game, so this is not a flaw in the story. I just think this is a little bit silly. I just think it's a little silly, that's all. I'm not saying this is a flaw. I'm just saying I would have probably thought of something else or whatever. Okay, the other part was the wish that she made. She said, "May all the origami be folded by my brother be undone." I mean, she could have wished for something else. She could have wished for, "May all of the origami folded by my brother be turned into paper." Boom. That would have been everything, dude. That would have been the best ending ever, dude. Everyone turned into paper. They all live happy. They celebrate the origami festival. And that would have been the best ending ever, dude. That's what I would have done. That's what I think they should have done. That's just my opinion. But the reason this doesn't make sense to me is because she could have wished for something different and still save the world. It's not like she had a rush to do these things. What would make everything make sense if she was rushed into making the wish? Like, let's say this. Remember the fight with King Oli where he said his rage, it's turned into a deadly poison rising up from below. Like, it's going to consume the whole world. Now, if she was rushed into making that wish, then everything would have made sense. It would have made sense that because she couldn't really think it through. She couldn't really think of other options, of other wishes to make. This would have made sense. Like, if the poison was still growing and still consuming the world or whatever, and she was rushed to make a decision, then it would have made sense. Then it would have made the story great, that she did that. You know what I mean? But it just doesn't make sense. She had all the time in the world to think of a way to save, to save everything while still not. There could have been another way, I think. It just could have been cleaned up. See, I think the story is still great. It's still amazing, but there's just these little things in the beginning and the end. It just needs a little bit more polish. That's all it is. The rest of the story is amazing. The rest of the story is amazing. I loved it. It's 10 out of 10. One of the best stories I've ever played. The beginning and the ending, though, a little bit more polished. I don't know. Is it just me, guys? Is it just me? Or I don't know, man. Was the story great? Am I wrong? Or are these things true? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. Am I going crazy or what? I don't know, man. Am I just going, yeah, of course I'm upset that Olivia, we don't get Olivia anymore. She was one of my favorite characters. I think she's one of the best characters in any video game that I've ever played. I love this character. It's sad to see her go, man. It's sad. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.